good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
And Happy New Year to all of you. Welcome to 2018. And before we begin, could someone just give us a quick note that you can hear us and see us and then we can get started? That would be lovely. Thank you so much.
It seems to be very delayed this morning. Everything is very delayed. I'm not sure what's going on.
So, yes, look at your head, Catherine.
I know.
Your words are coming out faster than your mouth is moving.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why that is.
Oh, see, look. I love that. That's a riot.
Can you hear us? Can somebody please type in and let us know that we are not speaking to ourselves? I don't think they can hear us, Eileen.
Oh, you took the mute off? Oh, there you are. Thanks, Andrea.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Just a little worried with all the delay going on here that you're not going to hear us.
Well, welcome to 2018, January. And of course, as you know, January is one of our best times to sit down and start thinking about what we're doing. So today, Vagaro Live with the two blondes. What are we going to do, Catherine, if we ever dye our hair in different colors, right?
Or the two grays?
The two grays. Oh, bite your tongue.
Yeah, that will never happen. Go to my gray blonde.
Anyways, the two blondes, Catherine and Aileen, we are the profitable salon owner, and our passion has been to get salon owners profitable fast. And one of the best things you can do in working on profitability is to do some planning and analysis.
Absolutely. And this is one of my favorite things to do. I love this exercise, actually.
Well, I do too, because I think it forces you to take a look at your business to see where you've been and where you want to go. And I also think that it's something that we forget to do as business owners. We get so busy, especially over this last season.
Yeah. Well, we get so wrapped up in the minutia of day-to-day life.
Exactly.
And, just getting on with things that we forget that one of the most important things as business owners, whether you are, a one-person business or a 50-person business, is planning. And today, at the start of the year, there is no better time. I think every single business out there, not just our industry, every industry should start their year off like this. And
let's face it, you and I have done our due diligence, because that's what we tend to do through the month of December.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is take a look at the past and move and get everything going for January.
For the new year.
Yeah.
But if you haven't done that, I just simply take a piece of paper, I don't think you can even see it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, there.
There you go.
That. Can you see what that is?
Yeah.
A beautiful blank piece of paper.
Well, it's not exactly
divided into 4 squares.
Yeah. So this is called a SWOT analysis. So strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So we are going to examine all of those things today about your business. So are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's get at it.
All right. So let's get going with a SWOT analysis and some of the questions that you may want to ask yourself.
We talk so much about goal setting, right? And one of the things that we've found in talking to small business owners is that they struggle with making their, setting goals and trying to decide what it is that they're going to do to move forward. So what we found is that by doing a SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, you can analyze each category to figure out what is it that you want to do in the next time frame to take care of each of these things that comes up.
Yeah, and to move you forward.
Exactly. So it's a way of sort of narrowing the field, I guess you would say.
Totally.
Yeah.
So we're just going to start with V Salon. V's for Vagaro.
I love that. And by the way, Vagaro has got to be your best friend this year. Take advantage of the features, advantages, benefits that this program offers you. And if you are at all unsure, make sure you follow up with one of the regular webinars that they do on managing your program, because the support is there, isn't it?
It absolutely is. It makes they make it so easy for you.
In fact, when we talk about strength, you can actually put that right under there too.
Yeah.
Having the Vagaro system is definitely a strength in the salon.
So let's just start off with location. Are you in a good visible location? because that is going to determine a lot of things.
It does. You know, in real estate, they say location, location, location are the three most important things to look at. However, there is a wee caveat here, because you can be a destination location, but for the most part, location really proves a huge strength for you, because if you're accessible to neighborhoods or whatever, it just adds a little bit of ease in promoting your business.
So if you're tucked away in a second story, you are going to have to look at marketing. How are you going to get people to know that you're there? So that's really what we're looking for. So if you're tucked away in a second story, you would not be in a good visible location.
Right. And so we would move that over to the weakness category, right?
For sure.
And we'll talk about that. Strengths. You've been in business. This V-Salon, they've been in business for 6 years. So, you know, that is a real strength. If you've gotten over the 2 to 3 year hump, you know, chances are you're doing okay.
Yeah. Well, I think it's, what did we say? Over 30% of businesses don't even make it to the third year. To the third year.
Yeah. We see a lot of failures in the first 12 to 24 months. And most of it is through lack of planning. Take that to heart, people. That's through lack of planning. So planning is everything. It doesn't matter what business you're in. If you're not planning, you're floundering.
That's right.
Yeah.
And if Aileen and I look like we're a little ways apart today, we are, because she has a cold.
Yes.
And I don't want to
wave my Kleenex at you all.
Hey, wave it over there. So on with the strengths. That's not a strength. On with the strengths. So solid experience. They have solid experience service providers, which is a huge strength.
It is, because, you know, you think about, you know, your marketing or your advertising or whatever, you know, to be able to promote a service provider who's been with you for a certain length of time, that's big. That's really big. Imagine, you know, like your only staff are all right out of school.
And, you know, they think they're pretty good. They're 70% booked, which is good.
It's good.
Yeah.
Could it be better? Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it probably could, but we'll look at that when we go to the weaknesses.
Yeah, there's room for improvement.
Yeah. And so they think one of their strengths is customer service. Well, here's,
okay, don't get me started on this one.
Here's a heads up. Every place thinks that they have good customer service.
In fact, the stats on this are really quite surprising. Do you know that 80% of businesses think that they offer great, exceptional customer service? And if you talk to their customers or their clients, only 8% of clients or customers believe that the business offers exceptional customer service.
Yeah.
So it leaves, although, you know, you can see it as a strength, I want you to take a really good look at this. This could be a weakness, or it just could be room for improvement.
Room for improvement.
Yeah.
And I think in any of our businesses, there is always room for improvement in customer service.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think the other thing, if you do not have a guest path, so how it's laid out. So from the time your client walks in the door, how every aspect of their visit is going to be handled. If you don't have that laid out, then I think your customer service could probably definitely use improvement.
Yes, we call it the yellow brick road.
Yes.
Follow the yellow brick road. And of course, the V-Salon also has very loyal customers, and that is an incredible strength. You know, if you've got a solid client base, you are on your way to a good, solid business. And it's got to be, it's called a book, right? And a database. And that's when you are mining your database.
Yeah.
Now, these are just the strengths that we've picked out for V-Salon. And, you know, if you take a look at your business, you may have different strengths.
Yeah, you totally may have completely different strengths, but you need to analyze your business. And the big thing I believe that is really difficult to do is to actually 110% be honest.
It is, because we get mired in our own thing, you know, like I was going to use a personal story because, you know, I look in the mirror and I think, yeah, baby, I look fabulous. Then I see a picture and I think, holy smokes, did I really put on that much weight over Christmas? I mean, you know, it's just reality, people. That's all, you know,
and
I'm just saying.
Yeah. So good. This is kind of an average list of strengths, but you can go along and you can you can make more. I mean, I know when I've done the SWOT analysis with my group in Winnipeg, you know, and the more people there are, if you bring other people in, it's interesting because they have a different take on, and they may think of something that you didn't think about. So.
And one of the things that, you know, Kath and I really believe in, and because we're doing this at the beginning of the year, and we really feel that, you know, having this information really helps us build towards a fantastic 2018. But one of the things that you might do is back in September or October is put together a client survey, client and employee survey, and ask for the information, because your clients and your staff will guide you to where you need to be. They're going to help you determine what your SWOTs are. So, you know, really think about it. Really think that, you know, when you're planning for this year and you get out your calendar, put a note in that in September you're going to put together surveys.
Yeah, good point, Eileen. We talk about surveys all the time. So, and I apologize. Everything is just moving really slow today on in the computer world here. So on to our next slide, which now
are our voices coming across in slow-mo?
I know.
I'm just
saying. It seems really weird. It's just it isn't normally like this, so I'm not sure what's going on. So let's get to the weaknesses.
And weaknesses, again, you know, these are from Salon, and we've picked a few that are weaknesses that we come up with on a regular basis. Again, and a little bit of analysis will bring up your own particular and individual weaknesses. But here are some of the ones that we've come across pretty regularly.
Yeah, well,
parking.
Yeah, so Salon is in a good visible location, but there's a parking issue.
Yes.
So it's metered parking. They're really, really like diligent. So that is an issue. So how are you going to get around that? So you have to be creative in thinking out ways that you can help your clients, because oftentimes our clients, like a lot of the meters here for sure are 90 minutes.
Yes.
Well, when I go to get my hair colored, I'm there longer and cut. I'm there longer than 90 minutes.
Right. So, you know, here's the thing is when we recognize weaknesses, and what we want to do is we want to put a spin on it.
Yeah.
Right. So we take the negatives and we find a way to turn them into positive. So, for example, with our parking meters here in Victoria, we have a parking app for your phone, and you can add to your parking time from your phone. So it's a huge advantage. So, you know, for clients coming into Salon, we recommend that they take out the parking app and we overcome the parking issues.
Voila.
Voila.
And a big one I see, or we hear about a lot, is no young staff training.
Yes.
So you have no young staff in training mode. So you are really you're held captive by your staff at that point, because you have nobody that is ready to step. If somebody leaves, you have nobody that is ready to step into their shoes.
Exactly. And, you know, to be brutally honest too, this is a predominantly female industry. And so, you know, we're talking about women who often on the side have families or children, or they're taking maternity leave, or they're you know, there's all sorts of reasons. So it's something that we have to be really aware of, and not having young staff training. So there's an ongoing program to bring up young talent, because it's your young talent that are going to be replacement as, you know, your senior staff changes or develops or whatever, right? One of the things that we find is it's very rare to have service providers stay in one place for 30 years.
Yes. It used to happen. It doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah.
That's for darn sure.
Now, in saying that, I also want to point out that it behooves us to make sure that there is regular training going on. And as salon owners or salon managers or spa salon manager, whatever, you have to take responsibility for that. So when you're getting out your calendar and you're planning, think that at least once a quarter, a minimum of once a quarter, you're going to do some kind of training.
Oh, and that should be a minimum.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And, you know, with the incredible manufacturers out there with all these products, they're doing training. Help them, let them take responsibility for some of the training.
Totally.
But it's imperative that you keep your young people engaged and moving forward.
And Salon One of their weaknesses is marketing. Well, none of us are really all that good at marketing, so that doesn't surprise me. So we'll touch on that when we come to opportunities. So retail sales, another one.
Geez.
If you are not at 20% retail to service dollars, then you have a weakness in your retail sales.
Yes, you do. And we think that if you could try and work this year in 2018 and make your goal 20%, and any of you out there that are doing better than 20%, we applaud you.
Absolutely, because there's huge room for improvement.
Yes.
And then we talk, Aileen and I beat this one to death all the time. You have no distinct, they have no distinct niche or specialty.
Exactly.
So they're just
all things to all people.
And yes, we can be all things to all people. And I'm sure some of you have been on here before and you have heard us talk about this. That's great. You can do everything in the space, but what are you known for?
What is your unique?
Yeah. And this goes back to marketing, because what do you market to? So that's a weakness. If you don't know who you're marketing to, then I understand why your marketing is a weakness.
And I do want to point out here, because we get a lot of pushback on this. Well, if I only market to one segment, I'm not going to get, all the other clients that I've worked on. But here's what really happens is if we focus on a specific niche, you still end up getting all the others. If you take a look at a bell curve, it goes up like a bell. And so you focus all your attention at a specific market. But what happens is down the sides, you also get buyers and customers in from other categories.
Yes.
So you're not
absolutely.
cutting yourself off, but it does give you a focus for your marketing.
And then, one of the strengths that the Salon felt that they had was that they were 70% booked. But when we look at that,
and we looked at their past history,
it actually is one of their weaknesses, because they used to be 85% booked. Yeah. So they have gone down by 15% in their pre-booking.
Right. And in doing the analysis, you have to take a look, okay, what happened to that other 15%? Why are we losing them? And that is where, analysis is incredibly important to you.
And it's so critical to know those numbers. If you look, and you'll know that just by looking at your booking stats, also looking at your retention reports to see where you're losing your clients. A lot of them, are they coming back for one visit? Are they coming back for 2 visits? Are they coming back for 3 visits? Gesundheit. I was waiting for that. And then the other thing is, and when you are working in a space all the time, we tend to put blinkers on and we don't see anything else that's going on because we walk in every day, it becomes a habit. And sometimes it's just the smallest things, but if we look around, your clients notice these small things when they come in, and maybe your salon needs an update.
Well, we tend to ignore it, all of a sudden, so many fingers have touched the light switch that it's grimy. There's all these little things. It's really important that at least once a year you do an outsider's view, you might say, and take a look, walk through your salon and truly see it from an outsider's point of view. What needs to be changed? Are there dust bunnies regularly haunting the reception area or wherever, right?
I actually have a really great 2.5-page checklist of things that if anybody wants, I can, our email is at the end, you can email me and I will absolutely send it out to you. It's well worth it because it just takes into account every aspect of the salon.
Exactly. It's very, very worth doing. So make sure you pick up our address at the end. And of course, the other thing is, and we sort of touched this briefly when we started, is lack of systems. They are a Vagaro account, but they are not using their systems to the best advantage. And that's one of the things that kind of drives us a little crazy, because this is a service that you're paying for, and so to not utilize it is a waste of resources.
Yes. So you need to be utilizing all of the reporting that you get, and then that will help you build some systems into your regimen, like monthly, daily.
Weekly.
When we talk about systems, we're talking about, oh, here she goes again. When we talk about systems, we're talking about how often are you checking in with your clients in between visits? Do you have a pre-booking system? Do you have a referral program? Do you
have a follow-up program?
Have a follow-up program. Those are systems. Do you have a guest path program? So these are all systems. Do you know those things? If you don't, you've got a little bit of work that needs to be done this year.
You got it. But think about what it's going to do for you, though. It's going to put you on this path that's going to assist you in growing your business and increasing your revenues.
If we don't look at these things, nothing changes.
Exactly. Nothing changes if nothing changes. One of our old saws.
Yes, it is. Yes. So let's talk about the opportunities that you have coming this year. And we all have a ton of opportunities that we can tap into.
You got it. How do we turn negatives into positives?
That's right. So you looked at your retail, you decided that, ooh, I'm only at 10% retail to service. You have a lot of retail sales growth opportunities.
Exactly. But you know what? You need to plan out how you're going to change it. You got to take a look at what your average ticket price of your clients are. You've got to take a look at how many products are actually going out the door. You need to take a look at, what kind of, have you got your profits sitting on your retail shelf?
On your retail shelf, which we talk about all the time.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that you have to take a look at. But I think the most important thing is a really quick way to do it is to figure out how many pieces of product are you actually putting out every day. Yeah. And on average, if you're only putting out 2 or 3 products a day, you know that you've got huge room for improvement. Yeah. And you start thinking about, okay, so how do I do that? And that's where the planning comes in. How am I going to change that? How am I going to get more products into my clients and consumers' hands?
And really, most of the time, it's simply a matter of telling them what you're using, why you're using it, and the benefit to them.
Exactly.
And they need to if you do that with every single client, instead of just talking about the weather or, how was your Christmas or this, you can do that. But in there, every time your hand wraps around a product, just say, this is what I'm using on your hair. This is why I'm using it today. And this is going to be the benefit going forward. So, there's a
method.
There's a method.
And I think this is one of the things that you really, especially when it comes to retail and anything, is that we need systems in place. Yeah. And getting product out the door is a system.
Yeah. And it takes it to become a habit. It takes 21 days of doing something consistently for it to become a habit. If you can just get into the rotation of doing what, why, and the benefit for every single client, somewhere in there, you will see your retail sales increase.
Exponentially.
It's education, education.
And just as a reminder, and I know we touched on this on our last webinar too, but selling retail is also about retention. And I think that is the most important aspect, because when we talk about loyal customers, etc., that's tied into retail. The more of your products that your clients are using, the more loyal they are going to be. So if you can see how this works in a relationship, you can't help but build your business.
Great opportunities.
Great opportunities.
And then find a niche. If you don't have a niche right now, find one. Simple as that.
Yeah.
What do you like to do?
And what are you good at?
Yeah.
And again, it's not that, and we've got a couple examples. And my friend Amy, she's a fine hair specialist. Mm-hmm. She is so good at it. Yes, she still cuts hair for curly people. She still cuts hair for men. She still does all these other things, right? But she is a fine hair specialist. So when people are talking, say, oh, my hair's so fine, I never know what to do with it, I've got duck fluff. People say, well, go and see Amy. She's fabulous. So yes, she still does other clients, but that is her groove.
Yeah, and all her marketing reflects that.
Absolutely.
So, find yourself a niche, whatever it is that you love to do, whatever you would like to do all day. If you like to braid hair, you're the braiding specialist.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? But find what your niche is, and that's a huge opportunity for you. You can really, this year, make this your year to really focus on that and
They could
grow
be
it.
the braiding group.
Yeah.
Or the
Well,
braiding,
and we
the
had-
braiding bunch.
And we did an interview with Sophia in October, and Sophia has, she has really got her
Nailed it.
niche.
Yeah.
She has 2 different niches. She does bridal, but that's, not filling up her days all the time. And she does extensions.
So she's making a name for herself, and she's making a heck of a good living for herself as well.
And all of her marketing points to both of those. That's all. Because
the advantage to having that niche is it does give you direction, and it does give you that opportunity to focus your marketing. And marketing, we can't go anywhere without having some kind of marketing. I mean, Catherine and I have always used this little phrase, always be marketing, ABM.
Yeah, ABM, always be marketing. Doesn't matter where you go. You need to always be marketing.
Yeah.
And then reinventing your space. And I mean, reinventing your space can be as simple as changing things around.
Or just a coat of paint.
Yeah.
But just take that fresh look and reinvent your space. And I love the idea of just changing your salon around.
Well, I did that. I did that on Friday. I had a little bit of a quieter day, and we were in there, and I said, okay, so let's take all these shelves. We're gonna move things around. We're going to spruce things up.
Yep.
And that's what we did because, you get busy. We had been really busy for a few months and things were the same. And it was starting to look a little crowded in places. And the difference was like night and day. And it was just moving the product.
It's just shifting.
Yeah.
Because remember, your clients are only coming in once a month, once every 6 weeks or whatever, for the most part, right? And so that gives them something fresh to look at. If they see the same old, they get bored. So think about that from that point of view, like entertaining your clients by moving things around, changing your colors, shifting your screens. I mean, there's so many different things to do.
Yeah. So reinvent, market to attract new clients. So, if you need to find those new clients, there's so many different ways to market to get your new clients. But unless you know who you're looking for, who your client is, it's really hard to market to attract those people. So once you've done the SWOT analysis and you've really had thought about who it is that you want to market to, then you can start to get in there and start marketing to attract these new clients.
Let's put a little caveat in there because as we talked about last month, we want you to remember that there's no point though in bringing in new clients or marketing to new clients unless you have a system in place to take care of your current clients.
Absolutely.
So let's not forget that caveat because we want to build it, but we want to make sure that we know how to take care of them as well. And marketing to attract new clients. I mean, it's endless, the opportunities.
Yeah. And with Facebook ads, Instagram,
Twitter.
And Instagram is really taken off, like really, it's a huge market these days. And what we do is perfect for Instagram because you can do
Pictures.
You can do pictures. My salon in Winnipeg, they use Instagram and Facebook, and they're always, every day they have pictures up there from our staff or about facials or, because that's what we color in the salon and facials in the spa. Sorry.
I did
in the spa. But that's what we market to, and that's what we are constantly putting up there. So it's really easy to market when you know who you're marketing to.
And I'd really like to point something out here because I truly believe that, of course, digital marketing is one of the most important things that we can do. When you take a look at the number of consumers who are finding your business online, it is very, very important to have an online presence if you want to grow your business and attract new clients.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I think is very important that I think a lot of us miss, and that is our websites. Websites are often developed and they're kind of boring things.
Yeah. And the nice part about Vagaro is that they
exactly right.
They
what
do
I
one
wanna,
for you.
What I wanted to say is make sure that you are keeping your website current.
Yeah.
right? And you do have the help from Vagaro to do that. But if you add content or just make changes or whatever, it changes it. So please do not ignore your website. Once you've got it, keep it fresh, keep it happening, because it causes an organic growth. Okay, so it's very important.
Yeah.
Take advantage of that in Vagaro program.
And look back on some of our previous webinars for, you know, referral programs to market. Some of the follow-up programs that you can do to market to the clients that you already have coming in. They will help you to attract new clients, because they'll go out and talk to their friends. It
is still the #1 way to grow your business is word of mouth.
Totally. So get out there. If you're a larger salon, start an apprentice program.
Here. And you know, what an incredible way to build your staff, and because, you know, I find that, you know, like these are people that you can train. The one thing that we really want to make sure that you understand is that when you're starting an apprentice program, when you interview people, hire for their attitude. You can teach them the skills, but hire for attitude.
And I want to say, if you are an independent contractor listening to this, you too can hire an apprentice.
Here.
You can take somebody out of school and have them work with you. They can help you do more, because they can be doing you can teach them how to do your color applications. If you're a stylist, you can teach them, they do your shampoos. There's so many things that they can do. And while you're training them,
you're building your business.
You're also able to increase your own revenue.
Exactly. I mean, we know quite a few stylists actually who are single stylists, but they have 2 or 3 assistants working with them, and they have an amazing business.
Yeah. And I have one young lady that I mentored for a couple of years when she was beginning, and she started off she was an independent contractor. She started off we got her into having an apprentice. And the next thing is, like, she has a salon with 8 stylists right now.
So it starts from there.
Yeah.
So the most important thing is not technical skill, but attitude, because you can't teach attitude.
Yes.
But you can always teach technical.
Yeah. Hire for attitude.
Yeah.
Teach for technical. So there's so many opportunities out there, and this is a great thing.
It is.
If opportunity doesn't knock, build a darn door.
Right.
So where's your door? So you really need to start building that door, and that's what a SWOT analysis allows you to do. It allows you to look at everything and then start building.
See where the opportunities are, because, you know, I think you can see that even from negatives come great ideas. So take a look at your business and be honest and really think about it. I love the threats.
Yeah, me too.
You know, because it's the threats that push us to grow.
Yeah. And one of the biggest threats, Aileen, is complacency.
Oh, well. Oh, well, what can you do about it? But, you know, I find that, Catherine, one of the biggest ones on complacency is time management. And that is something that we often forget to do. You know, we forget to plan out our time. And especially if we are owners or managers, you know, and we're also working behind the chair, well, all hell breaks loose, doesn't it?
And we did talk about this just 2 or 3 webinars ago. It was all about time management. So if you want, you can go back. If that's something that is you think is a threat for you, then go back and listen to that webinar, and you can start changing that. But complacency is one of the biggest things. It's the same, you know, you get somebody coming in and same thing. That is wrong.
It is.
You know, because we become so accustomed to clients walking in the door.
Complacency is boring. It's absolutely boring. Make each day a fresh day.
Yeah, and be excited.
And be excited. Share the passion. Share the thrill.
And I hear this one all the time. So yes, we have a new salon that's opened up on the same block.
Yeah, and they're taking our business away. I say, hurrah! Embrace the competition.
Because it will either force you to get better, or yes, it may put you out of business.
Absolutely.
If you are complacent, it will put you out of business.
Right.
If you are not, it can really spur you on to do some really good needed changes. We all need to change things.
Soul searching in our business is to figure out, what to do. And competition is always going to be there, but rather than being reactive, as somebody comes in, always be proactive. Keep an eye on what's going on in your local neighborhood, what's coming up in new businesses, because then you're the one that can do the planning and leave them being the ones that are guessing. Because we're all in the same boat.
Yeah, I had this just the other day, and it was, I had a young lady come in. She has alopecia, and she was looking for a human hair wig, and her aunt was with her. Her aunt was going to buy this for her. And she'd been in just before Christmas. I brought in 2 beautiful human hair wigs for her. She came in, she tried them on, and her aunt said she loved one of them, and that was great. And her aunt said, we have one more place to go to. So where they were leaving my center and going to another center. And so before they left, I said, yeah, that's absolutely fine. But then I went through everything that we offer after they leave. So, once you buy this wig from us, you can do this, 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 and this. And I listed off all the things that we make us different. They were back.
Absolutely, because nobody in town does it better.
They were back, and they were like, okay. And that was a rather large sale for me. It was okay. I know I'm pretty confident that we are good at what we do.
Exactly. I think one of the biggest challenges in not just for V Salon, but for almost every salon is clients spreading out appointments.
Oh, yeah.
So we have to look at it from a different point of view. We have to say, okay, how do I get my clients in more frequently, or how do I bring in new clients to fill in those gaps? So there's 2 ways to take a look at it, right? And there's lots of ways to increase your client's appointment. Yeah. I think one of the hardest things that hit our industry was ombre and balayage, which is creating styles that they didn't have to come back for like 4 to 6 months or something, right? And yes, it was developed through after the 2008 financial crisis when people started running out of money. So we were creating styles that were going to last a long time. Okay, let's get over that.
And I mean, really, when I first started in this industry, clients came in weekly.
Yes, yeah.
And then, then it went to every 4 weeks.
Then 6.
And then 6. And now the average is
8 weeks.
8 to 10, I think. Is the average.
So we have to really think, how are we going to spread out the time, or I shouldn't say spread out the time. How are we going to fill the time in between?
Yeah.
And as I said, there's lots of ways to create a need for your clients to come in. So that's one thing. Like, let's face it, a short, precise haircut does not last 8 weeks.
No.
You got to get them in to really keep it in shape. A good color, like regrowth happens in 6 weeks.
4 to 6 weeks for sure. I go 5 and I'm pushing it.
Yeah.
So I think this is where pre-booking
is
amazing, because you can really set it up. So in order to keep your haircut and your color looking as fresh as it does today, I will need to see you again in 5 weeks.
Well, that sounds good to me.
All right. So let's just set that appointment up. So don't let her out the door before you have offered to pre-book the next appointment. And you need to set up the scenario. So don't be afraid to set up the scenario, because if that client walks out the door, instead of coming back in 5 weeks, it may be 7.
Exactly.
Or it may be never at all.
Exactly, because rebooking is the most important thing that you can do this year for your salon or your spa. Get in the habit. It is actually really easy to do. Once you get in the habit, you are going to have a really solid book.
And if you do nothing else after this, if you start a pre-book contest, not a contest, but a pre-book promotion
program or whatever,
right away. If you would like to book your next 2 appointments with me, I will enter your name into a draw. You can win a year of free haircuts or a year of free pedicures, whatever it is that you do. And when I say a year, it's you going, oh my God, that's a lot. No, it's really very inexpensive, and it's up to a maximum of 6.
Exactly. So, it's your choice. The most important thing to remember is that there's actually a time to ask these questions and to bring about the rebooking. And that is before your client leaves the chair or your aesthetic station. Not when they're standing at the front door.
No, don't be chasing them.
Me.
Don't be chasing them out the door. It all has to start. Again, guest path experience. We will talk about this. We are going to do this because I believe it is one of the most critical aspects of your whole business.
It is our business.
It encompasses our business.
Exactly.
So we will do this either next month or the month after.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Watch for it. Follow the yellow brick road. Increased competition for retail dollars. And of course, this is one of my pet peeves because, of course, you can buy retail beauty products anywhere.
And online.
And online. That's what I mean, like anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You can sit at your desk and buy products. So you have to give your clients a reason to shop with you. And the reason that they're going to shop with you is because of the personal recommendation that you are going to make, because they will not get that anywhere else. How many consumers do we know, Catherine, that have a box of products under their sink because they brought products that didn't work for them?
Yeah.
Having a personal recommendation is the number one reason why clients or consumers buy a product. So start using your personal recommendation, and you will you will steal the competition
and guarantee your product.
Absolutely.
If you take this home and you use it a couple of times and you don't like it, please feel free to bring it back, and I will exchange it for something that you may like better.
Exactly.
You will like better,
right.
Not me. You will.
You will. Promises. Okay, last one, Catherine. Fear of change. I tell you, this is a biggie. A biggie.
Changes.
My baby's got me in changes.
You have to be willing to change. If you are afraid of change, it is going to keep you where you are today. And if you want to grow, which I know all of you do because you're spending this time, then you must change.
Exactly. And look at it.
And it could be small changes.
Well, exactly. In fact, I was just going to say how you move out of your fear is that you make very small changes. Because fear is anything outside of our comfort zone.
Yeah.
And our comfort zone is this sort of little narrow circle that surrounds us, right? And you want to make changes. What you do is you make your circle just that little bit bigger. And the next thing you do, you get comfortable in that slightly bigger circle. And then you expand it again. But you just have to make a small change to beat the fear. So for example, say you're afraid of rebooking because we all hate rejection. We're so afraid our clients are going to say no, right? Well, to get over that, start a rebooking contest.
Yes.
So it's not necessarily coming from you, it's coming from the salon.
Or, if you're one person, it's coming from you. But it makes it easier to approach it because you are giving something in order to get.
Exactly.
And I think that makes it easier. It's for all of us. It's like, oh, wow, I don't want you to miss out on this great
opportunity.
Yeah,
right?
we have a pre-booking contest. So, if you just book your next 2 appointments, oh yeah, and don't worry, Aileen, you can change your appointment. It's okay, but you just have to change it.
So, getting over that. So you've opened up your circle a little bit. You all of a sudden start to see that your clients are rebooking, and it becomes easier. You've just killed a huge circle. Yeah. So then you tackle the next one. It's small steps, but change is the most important thing that we can do. And I've always felt that in an industry that is all about change, we are very, very fearful of change ourselves.
I agree.
So we have to get over that. We are the changers. We're the changers of our society. We make a difference. So let's get out there.
So who's going to do their SWOT analysis?
Raise your hands.
Today or this week, who is going to do their SWOT analysis? Because honestly, this will drive your business.
Yes.
Be honest with yourself. And like I said, I take one sheet of paper, I
divide it into quarters.
Yeah, divide it into quarters, and I do it. Oh,
You're so welcome.
Michelle said that she is going to do it. Good for you, because you will grow. You will propel yourself onto growth. And if you commit to doing this every month, once a year, then it really does help you hone in on what it is that you need to change.
So one of the first things, remember we talked about putting that survey on your calendar in October? Now what you're going to put in December is SWOT analysis. There's 2 things for your calendar today. We are twoblondesales@gmail.com. If you would like to get a hold of the Salon checkup, send us a note at twoblondesales@gmail.com, and we will send you a copy of that. And if you have any questions about your Vagaro program, if you are not using it to its fullest extent, you are going to send a note to support@vagaro.com, and those fantastic people are going to help you out. And until next time, we're the 2 blondes.
We're the 2 blondes, and hopefully Aileen will get rid of our cold and doesn't shift it to me. So, and I hope you all stay healthy and that you all do your SWOT analysis. So have a great month.
You got it. See you next month. Bye all.